extra time on there. So there we go. We are now recording on Ustream again.
You're recording on the laptop?
We are recording on the laptop. We never stop that.
And the laptop is plugged in.
And the laptop is now plugged in. And I've got the rundown. And I've got the music. And we are ready to hit it.
All right. If you guys good to go? Alex, got your seatbelt fastened?
Oh, I guess we should wait.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I'm just saying Zach just came on, so we should just tell him we've got Charles Krome here from Autotropolis and Alex Villani from GM Inside News.
Sweet.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes, I am now
for
ready.
real?
Yep.
Okay.
For real.
All right. We shall get started. Chat room, brace yourselves. Coming up on Roundabout, we take a look at the clever way GM is recycling leftover Chevy Volt parts. We uncover how they actually tow cars in Mother Russia. It's not pretty. And we debate the merits of the world's ugliest Pontiac Grand Prix, if it has any. So stick around for all that and more on Roundabout. Roundabout is sponsored by Advance Auto Parts. Visit our website, roundaboutshow.com, to get up to $30 off your next purchase.
Go ahead and read that again.
Well, is there a different thing I should be plugging?
No, that's good.
You want to keep that one?
Same one works.
Is that true? Because that's awesome.
You wait, Zach.
I'm waiting.
We got some awesome. All right.
I'm just me waiting.
Roundabout is sponsored by Advance Auto Parts. Visit our website, roundaboutshow.com, to get up to $30 off your next purchase.
In Livonia, Michigan, I'm Eric Tritko from rumblestrip.net.
In the great state of New Jersey, I'm Alex Villani from GM Inside News.
Beaming down from the gleaming city of Autotropolis, I'm Charles Krome.
Staring up at the oil pan of yet another international, I'm Zach Bowman.
From the Roundabout Studios and the Autoline family of fine programs, I'm your host, Craig Cole.
What he said. Oh, and I'm producer Ben Sanders.
This is Roundabout.
Hello and welcome to Roundabout, episode number 76, our weekly chat covering car culture, vehicle reviews, and some of the auto news you may have missed.
And we are back, baby, sacrificing at the altar of the auto news. Another one of our Friday evenings for you, our loyal listeners, and we do appreciate you tuning in either live or downloading the show as a podcast. Thank you for that. We've got a wonderful show set up for you today. Our theme this week is one man's trash, not white trash, Ben. It's one man's trash.
Are you saying? You implying something
yes.
about my heritage?
Yes. well, no, not exactly your heritage, but...
What are you trying to say, Craig? Are you implying something about my heritage?
And that... yes, or... that is the voice, the dulcet tones of the one, the only Zach Bowman of Autoblog.com. Zach, glad to have you back.
Craig, glad to be here.
He's lying already.
I'm not lying. I'm not. No lies.
Right.
It's good. It's good to be back.
Time heals all wounds, right? Had a little break.
Time, amnesia, blows to the head.
Lots of alcohol.
So the international then, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Also joining us on Skype right now, we have Alex Villani of GM Inside News, coming to us all the way from New Jersey, no less. Alex, thanks for joining us.
Hey, no problem. Glad to be here.
Yeah. And, of course, we have Mr. Charles Krome.
Of course.
Another Autotropolisaurus, as it were.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Quote Jeff Ross. So glad all of you guys could make it. And as I mentioned, our theme this week is one man's trash. And GM is getting pretty clever because they're taking some of their trash and turning it into something very useful for some wildlife. Now, what they've got here, I guess the batteries in the Chevy Volt are shipped with some sort of cover over top of them to protect them, either from the elements or damage during shipping. And rather than throwing these things away, they've actually found a very clever use for them in that they're making, they're nests for ducks. I'm not certain what varietal of bird.
Wood
duck?
Wood duck.
Is that different from the garden variety?
Well, funny you should ask. They're one of North America's most colorful ducks.
Really?
According to Wikipedia.
Beautiful tans and taupes and browns.
It's kind of a facial kind of thing. I advise everyone to Wikipedia wood duck immediately.
I shall do that right now. And somebody talk while I'm typing.
And also,
To the Googles.
there's a Harry Potter tie-in because they're doing something for the owls as well.
Well,
Well, if they were smart in their marketing department, they would have figured out
Well,
the tie-in.
you were
But
very...
then again, their good marketing people are leaving.
That is quite the plumage, Charles. Not lying. What was that, Alex?
This isn't the first one. Didn't they did something with the oil bags from Katrina? Then they recycle them for some of the Volt's interior parts.
Yep.
They did. Or
This is another. This is now recycling parts of the car for the environment. But this is pretty cool. They're getting a lot of ecological stuff, a lot of greenwashing with the car. I just actually drove it last week, and tell you what, it's a pretty impressive car.
it's a moonshot, so I've read.
I've got it in my garage right now, charging away.
Sucking up the juice from the wall.
That's
Jacking
right,
up your
my
power bill.
electrical bill. 1
doesn't
kilowatt
use-
hour at a time.
It's electric. It doesn't use gas. Oh, my God, the electric bill.
Yeah, it's funny. They dropped it off and it had no charge whatsoever, so I immediately had to plug it in. And I think I plugged it in at like 7 o'clock at night, and it's like it'll be ready at 5:15 in the morning. I'm like,
It's a good thing you don't go anywhere,
No
Zach.
220 down in the garage, huh?
I do
Did they
have
give you the
220,
little
but I don't have a 220 plug. Like they just gave me the 110 plug basically, and like it's not long enough to run from inside to outside, so I had to put it in the garage. And yeah, it's a little cumbersome. I'll be honest with you. Like the Subaru's sleeping outside. I'm not very happy about that. Just saying.
Yeah, that the charging dock thing they give you, the whole reel is a bit of a pain to kind of ravel back up and then lay it back out again. Because the handle is so big, and you have this big kind of object to wrap this heavy orange cord around, and then you gotta, again, like you have your problem. I had a problem too. I don't have a garage, but I had to find a socket that I could pull the current from. I ended up just trying to get it to work. It was a lot easier. Just run it through the back door.
And you're sticking it to the man, which is awesome.
Exactly.
The downside is you can't use the charging device that they have with an extension cord. They have specific warnings about
Bursting into
fire.
flames.
Yeah.
You know, they
I
should,
did hear about that, but I did it on mine, and my house didn't burn down. So good luck with it.
I
Well, I was specifically warned by the fleet guys. They were like, "Do not underscore bold italics
I
use
think-
an extension cord."
I think the extension cords they're talking about are those typical like 20 gauge ones you hook your lamps into. But if you get like one of the outdoor ones, which is thicker, like 8 gauge wire or something like that, you're probably okay.
Right.
I think the Volt should come with some sort of hand crank so you can charge it on the go if you needed to in an emergency
Like
situation.
like an emergency flashlight.
Exactly, but there's a thing.
Hook it up to your elliptical machine. And
Well, it does. It has a big engine in the front, so worst case, you just let it go.
Well, what if you're out of gas?
then it's like
Well,
every
you know
other
what?
car.
That's like any other car. You're out of gas. You're shit out of luck. Excuse me, but you're out of luck.
Yeah.
So you have to go. I mean, whether you have to charge it or put gas in anyway, you're still going to run into a problem.
Yeah.
True.
Well, GM doing some pretty good stuff for the environment. One man's trash, in this case the battery covers for the Volt. A nice habitat for some ducks. Very colorful plumage. Charles, you were right. I looked those up on the Wikipedia. So great little feel-good story there from General Motors. Now, another man's trash, literally, is what they're doing in Russia, which, frankly, as a car enthusiast I find pretty horrifying, shocking.
Well, they do things differently in Russia.
To be
And this
polite.
is, yes, and this is a perfect example.
We are epic win. We do everything big.
Now, I can frankly say this isn't my little joke, but what it looks like is, if you ever wanted to play with one of those crane toys, kind of,
Yeah.
You can do it with real cars here. That's
I'm
pretty
jealous.
much what's going on. They're just scooping them up, toss them in the trash.
Yeah, we've got a video here, basically. So what's going on?
Well, exactly that. They are scooping them up and put them in the trash. I don't have the... Oh, there we go. Okay.
The downside here is that the only prize you win is a Mazda 6, which nobody really wants one of those. No, I'm kidding. Great car.
Nobody wants one because they're not buying them, but that's
That's
neither
right.
here nor there.
Reasonable.
Oh, it's a good car, but nobody's buying them.
That's true.
Reasonable car, Mr. Tricka says.
And I suppose it's, maybe a little bit better than the boot.
Yep.
Just get the whole thing pulled away.
There is a little bit of, I don't know. It's obviously at a factory or someplace like that, and you see a couple people with Mazda jackets walking by. So, you know, these are probably engineering mules that are, you know, with no VINs.
Pre-production type.
I said no VINs on a car in Russia, but that sort of goes with, you know,
Goes with the
how's
territory
that
there.
different than any other car? That's
So basically, they've got a dump truck with this awesome candy crane type, or
it's a
crane mounted
it's
on
a
it.
picker
claw.
like you see on logging trucks, where they pick up the logs and put them on the flatbeds.
Mhm.
That's basically what that is.
And the guy he's sitting on the truck or on the crane, basically operating it, and he's got this little like rain shield. I don't know if you guys can see it in the video. That looks like this little hood that folds up, kind of funny. But he's literally just using the crane, going right on the roof of these couple Mazda 6s parked there, and just grabbing them, putting them in the back of that dump truck.
See, now if this was GM, of course, they wouldn't just be throwing them out in the garbage. They'd be converting them to duck shelters.
Exactly. See. So this is literally one man's trash.
So one man's trash is another man's trash.
Trash.
Yeah.
And you can tell by the way they start swinging around sometimes that, you know,
Yeah,
let's
that
have a little
second
fun
one's
with
a
that.
little dicey. It took him a few tries to grab that one.
Well, he took the crane. He overstuffed the crane's mouth. He
was
wanted
on
to take a smaller bite this time, I think.
Yeah, I think he just went to like
be
rent to
greedy.
own and picked that up and.
I'm gonna say he was on his second bottle of vodka for the day.
For the morning, probably. So yeah, if you're into cars like we are, this is pretty darn cringe-worthy. I mean, like you said, Eric, these have got to be scrappers anyway from some sort of engineering test or pre-production.
But wouldn't you like to think that in Russia they just you got
This is parking ticket. We don't no boot in Russia on the wheel. We pick car up. You can impound. So
You know,
yeah.
if the world was perfect, all manufacturers would submit these cars for like an endurance series. You know, so like all the old test mules from every manufacturer, regardless of vehicle class, would be thrown into the same endurance series. Mm-hmm. I would absolutely pay to watch that.
That would be awesome. You know, I've always wanted to see how far a car could run on canola oil in the engine. Perfect.
True.
Perfect.
Or cat litter. You know,
You could.
another fine lubricant.
Synthetic cat litter, or
Hope that's not the voice of experience there.
No, it's not.
well, he did get drunk that one time. Thankfully, the Subaru was under warranty. So yeah,
Please, I've never owned a vehicle under warranty. Come on, Craig Cole.
So you can check out that video on our website, roundaboutshow.com. Again, pretty darn cringe-worthy. Our next story, One Man's Trash. This is an awesome idea, Eric, but it was trashed probably due to cost or safety concerns, but brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I think it was scrapped because of a change in government and the focus of the government.
What do you mean?
So in 1931, so this would have been the Weimar Republic era of Germany, they came up with Zeppelin, who obviously makes the Zeppelins, the big
Dirigibles?
dirigibles. Yes, they came up with a
Oh,
design
the
concept.
humanity!
Yes,
That one.
Yes,
Save it for later, Ben.
came up with a design concept for a train engine, a locomotive.
Mm-hmm.
That from a design standpoint is just absolutely stunning. This is maybe the coolest looking like aero style train I've ever seen. It sort of does have a Zeppelin look to it, but that's 30s aero, you know, and it was made out of all aluminum.
Art Deco, I would say.
Yes, very Art Deco, and it had a 46-liter BMW V12 engine in it, powering it. But the interesting thing was that it was not driven via the wheels, as every other locomotive has ever been. It was driven by a propeller. And it had a top speed of 120 miles an hour.
That's
Ooh,
blistering.
140.
Or 140, I'm sorry, 140.
they-
I thought they tested it to 120. Anyways, it's still damn fast.
For 1931, that's nuts. That's like time travel.
Right,
Well,
so
not really, but
close enough to it. You
In 1930s, was time travel.
certainly
It's
past
like
88
rail
miles an hour.
travel.
Yeah.
what if we made a
I
road?
I don't
with
think
two
that
rails?
I've driven on Amtrak, and I don't think I've made it 140 miles in 4 hours before.
Day?
So yeah, Exactly.
It's funny, the first picture here, you pop it up and you're like, someone has photoshopped this weird looking train into this photo from 1930. Because it looks so bizarre.
Yeah, it's got a gigantic 2-blade propeller on the front, and carved of ash wood, it said.
Yep. So this was 1931. This was at the Weimar Republic, and so the government was the country was pretty much falling apart at that point in time.
Yes.
And shortly afterwards, it was scrapped because they made it out of all aluminum, which was very valuable at the time. And it only weighed like 20 tons, which is very, very light for an
Only 20 tons.
if you say like the steam locomotives of that time were like 100 tons.
We just look at that thing sitting next to it, and it looks heavy.
So it was trashed because they used it for parts for many other things, since aluminum was so valuable.
Well, plus I would imagine there were some safety concerns.
What, you don't want to? Well, it's just a propeller spinning. I mean,
I could imagine some kids getting sucked into that on the platform as the train goes to take off. It'd be horrifying.
Or some kids by the side of the track. What would happen if I just tossed a stick up there?
Bad things, yeah.
But I think they should revisit this idea and have that at least the design of the locomotive come back and maybe find some different propulsion method than the propeller.
Jet propulsion.
Yes.
Did it have any machine guns?
Not at the time, because that would have been prohibited by the Versailles Treaty. Yes, not that they were paying too much. Well, it was
1935.
That they stopped paying attention to that. But.
After they, like you mentioned, had a change of government 2 years later.
Small change in government. Yes.
yes.
A little bit.
Der Führer. But yeah, awesome find. We've got this on Wired.com, Wired magazine. Definitely check out these pictures because this thing is so cool looking. So cool. And that they did it in the 30s makes it all the more impressive.
That's really the impressive part of it. It was in 1931.
Absolutely. Yeah. So next up, we've got an article about, GM is in the news, and who better to talk about that than you, Alex? They've showed off a new pickup truck concept. I guess it was at the Bangkok Motor Show.
Yeah, back in Thailand. Thailand is the largest truck markets out there. So they showed off what is traditionally, to us Americans, a mid-size pickup truck, a brand new Colorado show truck. They did some pretty cool stuff, 3-dimensional gauges, a diesel engine, turbo diesel, an all-wheel drive chassis.
So this truck's never coming to America then?
It's never coming to America, yeah. It's right now, unless something really happens. But there's always a toss-up that something like that could always come here. Perhaps not that specific one. Obviously not the diesel. I don't think. Never say never, but I think that the market for mid-sized trucks, everybody's pulling out. GM, Ford. I think the Dakota is pretty much.
Well, nobody buys mid-sized trucks, really.
Well, that's because they price them funny, and then they never
right.
advertise the fact that they even sell them anymore. It's like the Ranger sells 60,000 units a year with zero advertising, and they haven't updated it since 1993.
Right.
The Ranger's like the perfect size compact pickup. Everybody else got bigger, and Ranger stayed the same because it stayed the same.
It hasn't changed since before I was born. Yeah.
Clinton was in the White House.
That was the problem with the F10. Well, they altered some things. They've gone through like 4 or 5 powertrain options. But this truck does show a lot of a future. The design you're going to start seeing from a lot of GM Chevy trucks, I should say, not GM. The Colorado, there's a lot of people pushing forward to see something like this as gas mileage, as the cafe numbers keep going up. It's always a possibility, but as of right now, they shut down Shreveport down in Louisiana, so I don't think we're going to be seeing this anytime soon until gas.
Yeah.
Either gas, cafe goes way up.
There was as much product going out lunch boxes of the workers at Shreveport as there were product going out the door at Shreveport.
Well, that plant was only temporarily shut down for now. It's supposed to wind up for good later in the summer. Is that right, Alex?
Yeah, it's pretty much a done deal. The Colorado Canyon crew, they're going to be out the door, and that shows a whole other thing. And they're going to shut down that plant and then let it idle, let workers idle, and then only wait, another 3 or 4 years to then spool it back up again and spend another couple $1 million to get that fixed. It's just I don't see it. If GM was totally ready to say, yeah, we're going to stay in the midsize compact truck market with this vehicle, they would keep that plant open, but they're sad to say it would not.
It's a cool truck. I like the way it looks. I actually like the interior. The 2.8 in it. I'm sure it gets reasonable mileage. It would be the truck that I would be looking for to get a new truck.
You're living the dream right now, Eric.
Oh yeah.
Danger Ranger.
No, I'm saying if you can put 1,000 pounds or something in the bed, that'd be great. And if it can tow about 3,000-4,000 pounds, so you could tow like a small boat or a small
That's all
RV.
90% of the people.
Or your dog.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Well, it's an extended cab, so she should be able to fit in the back part of that. So it's perfect. Exactly.
I certainly hope this comes to North America because the design is pretty damn sexy.
It looks really good.
It's sharp. And
it looks, it almost looks a little too soft. It's got a Malibu-esque front end. I mean, it's
exactly.
I think we talked to Mike Simcoe last year in Detroit, and he talked about how we just keep making the grills bigger, and people just keep buying and keep buying. And Ford makes it bigger, we make it a little bit bigger, and we add more chrome. So I think that grill is not as bold for Americans. They'd have to just really.
That's an easy fix, though.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the headlights, how the headlights are and the fenders and everything. I think the front end would have to get really pulled out a little bit more extroverted, if you will, not so
happy, friendly looking.
Happy, friendly, yeah.
And you also have to wonder how they would price something like this to make sure it doesn't get too close to the Silverado.
Well, yeah. I haven't looked at GM's pricing in a little bit, but like looking at Ford trucks, and they say, well, you could get a Ranger like this is going to be like $24,000, and you can get an F-150 for like $26,000. I'm like, no, you can't. No, you
Not
can't.
with any options, period.
Yeah, exactly. Like you get the lowest spec F-150 with the EcoBoost and four-wheel drive, and you cannot spend under $34,000.
Jeez.
Yep, because I seriously looked at that.
As an option up. You get let's look at what Dodge is doing with the what's the thing
Tradesman?
called? The workman truck?
The tradesman, right.
Yeah, with the Hemi base Hemi. I mean that was what, 22,000. So there's that market that why the hell should obviously there's way more profits in the full size truck.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you sacrifice as Americans? Americans to think, well, why would I buy something that's smaller, get similar gas mileage, can haul less for the same price?
Well, we like things big.
Yeah.
Bigger. Now, Zach, you're a resident truck guy, enthusiast. What's your take on this thing?
Yeah, I think it looks really sharp. Does anybody know exactly what the 2.8 is? I mean, I know it's a turbo diesel, but in terms of power or displacement or number of cylinders, anybody?
I'm sure it's a 4. I would guess a 4.
It could be their 2.8 D6. They put it in a couple of cars in Europe.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the 4-cylinder, but I think it's 25-30 average MPG would be to convert to American miles per gallon.
All right, so you'd probably be looking at fairly significantly less by the time you put in a legitimate all-wheel drive system and in a high rating snub-nosed truck like that. But still, I mean that's pretty good fuel economy. If it had the power, I think it would do just fine. And I think styling-wise, for a lot of people, there are plenty of folks out there who are just buying a truck as an urban vehicle, as a mall attack vehicle, basically.
Yeah.
Or they go to the mall, they pick up whatever they need from Sears, and they drive home. No, the tailgate never goes down.
Nope.
So I think I really wouldn't see an issue with the styling. I think it looks about 50 million light years ahead of what the current Colorado looks like. And I've heard whispers that GM's going to try and keep the Colorado around, and I really hope they do it. I think as fuel prices keep climbing, buyers are going to start shying away from big trucks. I know they're doing better and better on fuel economy, but in real world applications, you're lucky to get what the EPA is talking about in fuel economy with big trucks. So.
Yeah, Raptor 6.2 got
gallons per mile,
barely 14 on the highway and about 10 in the city.
Yeah.
And that's just not going to be acceptable as gas gets closer to $4 a gallon. It's just not going to happen.
If you look at like a city type truck, I don't know if everybody saw the GMC Granite truck they showed in LA. Well, they didn't show it in LA. They had it over at their design studio.
You had it in Detroit.
They did have it in Detroit. I didn't see it, but yeah, they had a fold-out bed. Had the doors that came out. I mean, it was pretty novel idea. I remember talking to a couple people about it, and like, what would you see? It's like someone said before, tow haul about 1,000 pounds would be about its average. Would be their target for a vehicle like this, where the chassis can still take it, the engine can take it. There's not going to be any problems. And I think that might be an option. If you have a mid-sized truck like a Colorado or a Canyon or even a Ranger, price-wise, it puts it pretty close. And I think all people will say, well, if I go up a little bit bigger, I can get this massive truck. But I think other people want a city truck.
Yep, exactly.
Colorado's still too big. So a truck like a Granite is a little bit smaller and a little bit more maneuverable, even in some busy suburbs. The other thing is, I think.
Well, I hope GM brings this to the U.S. because I agree with you, Zach. I like the design, and let's not kid ourselves. The current Colorado and Canyon are not that.
I think bad is the word you're looking for.
Yes. So this could be a considerable step up, especially with the diesel engine, which we'll never get. But hey.
And really, I mean, the mid-size and small truck market has been, I mean, like you guys say, just completely abandoned. Manufacturers have completely walked away from it. Yep. There hasn't been any fresh, new, genuinely innovative metal out of there in over a decade.
Zach,
easy, over a decade.
Funny you bring up abandoned and pickup trucks.
Oh, listen to that.
Oh, yeah. Practice, baby. Practice. We're at 76 episodes now. But you are an international fan, and you've got yourself a lovely little project, honey, that you're working on.
Sweetheart?
No. Project Honey
The
Truck.
comma was in the wrong place there. That's the issue.
You're working on an international Harvester 150 truck that you've had. I'm sure a rolling headache. That is not beer.
No, it's not beer. And rolling headache would imply that it would have to roll first. So let's just hang out at the headache area of that description. No, we believe it or not, I had to be at the airport on Tuesday. Got in the truck, fired it up, drove it to 45 minutes to the airport, and made it there no problem. So we're making slow progress. But
what about the return trip?
I say, find any more presents from Outlaw Bobby while you were driving?
Miraculously no. And it got me home. Similarly, no problem. Almost ran over a BMW.
Well, they had it coming.
Yeah, I was coming down the parking garage, and there's a little gate that you have to pay, your obscene amount of money for parking in their shitty, not okay. And I was coming down the hill, and it stopped. It just stalled, shut off. And when the engine's dead, you don't have power brakes, you don't have power steering. So I was standing on it as hard as I could, and locked up the tires, and came to a screeching stop. And the guy in the BMW looked at me like I was insane, and it was a good time.
Awesome.
Anyway,
well, speaking of good time, you had a little rendering done of what you're dreaming of this thing to look like in 25, 30 years from now, when you have the time to finish it.
Well,
retirement maybe.
As my good editor John Neff said, how does it feel to know that your truck will never look like this? Which I thought was a little cruel, but that's okay.
You mean your butternut millstone, as you called it?
That's
brilliant.
Right. Thank you. This company by the name of Aute Mo I don't know how you pronounce it.
He wrote the article. He doesn't even know how to say it.
Well, it's autemo.com. What they basically do is they allow guys or girls who want to modify their vehicles to get in contact with artists who have the ability to render their modifications in Photoshop to photorealistic images of what it would look like. And they were trying to promote their business, and they contacted us, offered to do a couple renderings for us, and John thought that the 150 would be the perfect venue to show just how talented they could be to smooth over a vehicle.
Right, very talented.
Because the F1, because the international story was like the most highly trafficked story on the auto blog in the last 18 months, right?
It was a big one. It was pretty popular, but you talk to the guy and he says, just send me some pictures, tell me anything and everything you want done to the truck, and we'll go from there. And I'm thinking, you
So
know,
you emailed him a phone book, basically.
pretty much, you know, I basically took an afternoon, sat down and thought, okay, what would I do if I had money just bleeding out of every orifice and all the time in the world?
Sounds like a problem if you're bleeding out of every. But, sorry,
I would absolutely
We'll
take
get
it
to
if
that
it
story,
was cash. So, you know, I wanted all the body work smoothed out. A set of Casey daylighters on the front bumper. I wanted, you know, the emblem that I'd finally picked up on the grill. Small things like the side view mirrors. I wanted those swapped out for California style mirrors. Cab lights, a roof rack, or a bed rack, excuse me. Bed liner. I wanted the whole truck painted the Sandstorm Tam from the FJ Cruiser. About a 3-inch lift. I didn't ask for the springs, but that's okay. He's from the UK, so I'll let that slide.
You want leaf springs instead?
Yeah, you don't put coil springs on a pickup truck in the rear. That's just asking for all kinds of towing headaches and wheel hop and things like that. So anyway,
Memo to Dodge.
Yeah, better
Ram.
call those guys at Dodge, man. They're going to be upset.
well, they have all sorts of fancy engineering that's not quite like bolting on a set of coil springs to a here you go, Ben, shitty fucking international pickup truck.
Mark and Mark.
Other small details like a sliding rear glass, and you know, I was very specific. You know, I combed the internet, did Google image searches, and you know, I want these exact cab lights, I want these exact mirrors, and the guy wrote back and he was like, no problem. Then the next day we had the rendering, and it just looks like a stack of cool $100 bills. They say that, you know, for an average guy to do, you know, an image like that, it's about $150.
It's not
but they say
unreasonable.
Not unreasonable, and you know, they say they have about 8 work in progress, what they call work in progress images that come along during the process that you can change. You can change anything. You know, if you don't like the color that you chose, you can change the color or any modification. And at the very end, if you don't like it, you don't have to pay for it. Wow. So it's pretty sweet.
Awesome.
I like that bed rack thing. That is, I've never seen one of those, but that, I know it looks like you'd set up a blind to go hunting on top of it or something like that.
Well, I want something like that so I can throw up 16 foot worth of material, trim or whatever on top, and I can carry it without breaking anything. My dad has one that's custom anodized TIG welded aluminum. Ooh. And it's just beautiful.
Wow.
The one thing I've been meaning to ask, because I always forget, is it looks like there's a gas cap in front of the front door.
What is crying rust off the fender?
That's because there is. That is actually the main tank. That's the non-vented main tank, which is missing from my truck.
In a safe spot, clearly.
The other one, the filler neck, which is the auxiliary tank, which is what the truck is running off of right now. The filler neck runs in through the cab. And the tank is a sort of saddlebag tank, just like that one, outside of the frame rail. So if you get hit on the side, the tank ruptures and sprays the cab with fuel. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, you just try to hit anything that's going to hit you first. Yeah. So.
Well, awesome, Zach. They did quite a bang-up job on that rendering. Where can people find this story?
They can check it out at autoblog.com. You can just you can either search Aute Mo, or you can just autoblog.com/tag/Aute Mo. Yeah. And it should come up.
Turning one man's truck into a treasure. Our next article is definitely not as nice as that rendering. God, no. This is a horrible video of a...
And what sadly is they spent more money on the alterations to this Grand Prix than it would take to make Zach's international look as it does in that rendering.
Got a last generation Pontiac Grand Prix. It's probably not even a GTP. We'll just say it's a GT.
You just called that a Grand Prix?
Grand Prix? No.
Grand Prix.
Grand Prix.
There we go.
And coming to us from streetfire.net, popular site for car-related videos. This thing, it's a white Grand Prix, and it has been Mario Brother-ized with all kinds of video game characters painted, custom painted onto the coachwork. Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful.
What country is this from? I'm curious.
Albania.
Atlanta.
No, I have no idea.
Atlanta.
No.
It's in Florida.
Yeah, it's in Florida. I say,
That is a foreign country.
Florida, yes.
Where's Jeff Ross to defend himself now? But, so this is just basically a 1.5-minute long video, a little walk around this Grand Prix. And it's got all this Mario Brothers stuff painted on the body, and which is fine. I can appreciate somebody, spending their time if they're passionate, getting some custom paint work done on a vehicle. I may not like the look of it, but I can appreciate the effort, time, and money they put into it. Except not this one, because
it's awful.
Yes,
I mean,
Ben,
it's not
you're the
even
video
good. I
game
mean,
guy.
I can understand being a geek and wanting to put Mario and Donkey Kong stuff
Pretty
on
big
your
geek,
car,
yeah.
but the art isn't even good. I mean, it's.
And on the last generation Grand Prix, I mean, is that I didn't realize it's
Yeah,
such a popular
exactly.
car for this kind of
I mean,
thing.
I would do this to my G8, but
I just have
Oh my goodness.
I just have one question. What's the over under on the money from this coming from legitimate sources?
yeah, exactly.
Well, define legitimate.
Yeah.
Thought that makes some good money.
It's from an entrepreneurial businessman who operates in a cash business, right? Yeah, I understand.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
well, 'cause they've got
I deal with those people every day.
Why doesn't it have scissor doors, though?
Yeah.
That's the one thing it's missing here.
Well, it's got the 22-inch spinner wheels that have been painted with various characters. I guess that's Diddy Kong going around right now. I didn't know Diddy Kong had Down syndrome, but
Oh my God.
but the characters don't even look right. That's the thing that gets me, Ben.
Yeah, what's with the spots on Mario's hat, you think?
And Donkey Kong on the bump, or not Donkey, King Kong on the trunk lid. It's not. It's supposed to be Donkey
yes.
Kong.
No,
but
yes,
it's
that
King,
is clearly King Kong, except like a brown
Well,
fur.
better than
right?
King Dongs.
Is that supposed to be the
Ooh.
princess on that right rear wheel? Yikes.
Horrifying is all I can say. And if you want
Or
to
ding.
participate in the awfulness, ooh, look
I
at the
remember
king
those.
of the
The
king of all
king.
battles on the bumper there.
Awful, awful, awful.
What battle is that?
Obviously,
Decency, I
I
guess.
was gonna say it lost the battle of taste and decency, right?
Who is
Well, I
the?
love it. What really caps it off is that the wheels stick out a solid 1.5 inches on both sides. And that really caps. That's how you know that was hand done, custom, painstaking, just thorough stuff right there. That's just the best. That's what I love.
Classy.
That's what we call fitment in the business. Just saying.
What do you think the turning radius is? Can this car even turn, or is it just locked straight ahead?
Yeah, he started at a highway in the background there. He eventually made his way back to the parking lot. He just saw a lot of cars there. He's like, baby, stop and show it off.
Every parking job is a 17-point turn to get it into the spot. But yeah, you guys can check this video out on our website, roundaboutshow.com. We'll have a link in the show notes, and if you've got the stomach for it, please check it out, streetfire.net. Definitely one man's trash, not a treasure. Not gonna lie. Speaking of treasure, though, we've got another customized vehicle, Eric.
Yes.
This is something very much worth riding in.
Yeah, there's two different versions here of a Sprinter van, and from day one that I saw a Sprinter van, I've been in love with these things just because, especially when you get the tall version where like you can be 6'5" and still stand up in it and not hit your head, was always cool, and they're great for hauling motorcycles and stuff like that. But what two different people have decided to do, one was Mercedes and the other is Brabus, who's sort of a sort of official tuner of Mercedes. They've made the Sprinter vans into luxury transportation. The Brabus one, they've outfitted with, I think, every possible bit of Apple equipment that exists, including iPads and I don't know if there's an iMac, but it certainly had a laptop. But there's like several iPads in there. It had a 50, I think either 40 or 40-inch 3D capable Sony flat screen TV. Some different setups, some cool lighting in it.
Did it have a VHS player?
No.
But it does have Betamax.
Yes.
Awesome.
It is
We can play
Sony.
all our beta tapes.
Yeah, Sony. Yeah, so it is Sony. So that was, and it's pretty well tricked out. I'm sorry, this wasn't in a Sprinter van. This was in
The Viano Viagra van or something?
basically it looks like a Chrysler Town and Country, type of minivan.
Like a VW Euro van type
Yeah,
thing. it looks
exactly.
like, yeah.
So a little bit smaller, but that was pretty cool. And then the official Mercedes one, they used the Sprinter van, and this one is basically
Awesome. It's
It's
dripping with awesomeness.
It's like, why would you ever buy a Maybach? This is a Gulfstream on wheels. It has
really?
4 captain's chairs that sort of face each other, and then it has a third row, which is with a bench behind that. It has two 32-inch flat screen TVs. It has a bar. It's got all kinds of LED lighting in it. I'll channel Zach Bowman when I say this is bleeping awesome.
Thank you for.
Where's the follow through, Eric?
I said channel. I didn't say I did.
Luke in the chat says, Eric, whenever I see Sprinter vans, I always think of the dollhouse. Does that mean anything to you?
Oh, it was
yeah.
a Joss Whedon.
And it was awesome.
Oh, yeah,
Sean
yeah.
in Erie says, or John and Kate +8.
Oh,
So there you go.
Dollhouse. I did see a few episodes of that. John and Kate +8. I have no idea. I've never heard of it. So
Is that Johnny Walker, Zach?
Didn't that have some kind of crazy
is
engine
not
in one
Johnny
of those
Walker.
two?
in the Sprinter,
In one of those, yeah, the
yeah,
Brabus
the
one. I
Brabus
think.
one. Yeah, the Brabus one did.
Looks like Luke is insulting Ben because he says, "Yay, Ben got the reference."
That's because Luke's screen name, Cran Breaking, is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer reference.
What?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yeah, Cran Breaking. Cran Breaking Willow.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Look it up. So it's true.
Anyway,
Anyway,
in the chat is insulting my sport coat. Thank you.
Anyway, so the point is, this, especially the Sprinter van. The other one was really cool too, and I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Until I saw this one, and I said, so if I win the $300 million Mega Millions
Can
lotto
we,
tonight,
Eric?
I'm buying this.
Winning.
Exactly.
Oof.
So
Tiger
awesome.
Blood is extra.
This is freaking sweet.
Yeah.
Room to move around without being obscenely large, like you get with one of those, what are they, Class A
Yeah.
motorhomes that are just gigantic.
Yep.
Awesome.
Sprinter vans are awesome.
Beats flying faux show. So, yeah. Great. Where did we find that article, Eric? Autoblog. Imagine
other
that.
places.
What do you know?
I haven't heard
What?
of them before.
Do you know?
You guys just juggernaut the internet, Zach.
I know.
Just everywhere. Got your
I
tentacles
know.
covering all the news.
Built
Gotta
on the
save some
backs
for the
of-
rest of us.
Well, I don't know what you want me to tell you.
I don't know either.
We obsessively cover the auto industry, apparently.
It's in your name.
It is.
So, all right, guys, that'll do it for the news portion of the show. We got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we will dive into our blind spot story of the week, all about a woman who was caught smuggling drugs, yes, in her genitals. Plus, it's time for another installment of Roundabout Rear View, looking at an awesome video from 1940 about Ford service parts. No, it is not as boring as it sounds. And we'll also get to another electrifying edition of Auto Gadget. So stick around, it's all coming up right after this. But now I would like to talk about our latest sponsor here on Roundabout, Advance Auto Parts. If you visit our website, roundaboutshow.com,
I've heard of them
Roundabout Show or Advance?
at roundaboutshow.com.
Yeah, well,
But
who
tell me
hasn't?
about this Advance person.
If you go to our website, roundaboutshow.com, you can do that right now. Charles, feel free.
Sure. Hey, I noticed an Advanced Auto Parts little button there.
Yeah, it's
Should I
funny
press
you
that?
mentioned that. It is on the right-hand side of the page. If you click on that, you can save big, like top dollar, mucho dinero. Save some money, and a lot of money as well. We have a very special exclusive offer. You can only get this through our website. So make sure you go to roundaboutshow.com and click on the link in the sidebar.
In fact, this particular one that Craig's about to talk about expires on March 31st.
So you've got until a little less
jump
than a week.
on it.
Less
Jump
than a
on
week
it.
to take
That's right.
advantage of this. And this is a freaking
As we
awesome deal.
record.
I think I am going to go buy some some Mobile One oil for the car and perhaps a couple filters. But anyway, special offer for this week. You can get $10 off an order of $30. You can get $20 off an order of $50 or $30 off an order of $100 or more. That's a savings of 33, repeating 0.3%. Can you be that is a lot of percents me.
That is a lot of percents you. I don't have the sound effect ready.
I know
so
you didn't, Ben.
sorry.
You've been falling flat. But anyway, very good deal. Zach, you should treat yourself. Get some parts for the International. Again,
I should. Actually, when I lived in Virginia, I shopped at Advance so often that they gave me a commercial account.
what does that tell you?
One
But
of
yeah.
the nice features of Advance Auto Parts is you can actually order online and pick up on in-store. So you don't have to pay for shipping. Or orders over $75, every one of those, free shipping.
Awesome.
Isn't that
Awesome,
amazing?
Awesome. Yeah,
I
and
think so.
once more, this special exclusive offer, $10 off orders of $30 or more, $20 off orders exceeding $50, $30 off orders of $100 or more. Very good deal there.
So go to roundaboutshow.com. You have to click on the link. Look for the Advanced Auto Parts logo, and there'll also be a little coupon code there. But you have to click on our logo first before it'll take effect because it is exclusive to Roundabout.
Yes, and even if you're not looking for auto parts right now, I invite you to go to the website anyway. Click on the link just to show that you appreciate Advance's support of Roundabout.
Absolutely, you ought to do that now. Do it now.
Thank you, Advance Auto Parts. I always try to go there. There's one they just opened it maybe about a year and a half ago in downtown Romeo. Great staff, very friendly. They never a line or anything.
You were telling me
There's
about
14 people in the town.
This is an ad, Eric.
Play along.
Now you were telling me about they'll loan you a tool.
Yes, they do. No, this is not exclusive to Advance, but they do have a tool loaner program. Basically, if suppose you got to change the struts on your car or something, you don't have a spring compressor. You can go in, put some money down, take the spring compressor tool home with you, use it, take it back, get your money back. It's a tool loaner program, which is awesome. I actually took advantage of that when I lowered the Focus. So very handy to have because you may have a nice set of tools, but you'll be missing some expensive specialty item to do a particular job. And this is a great way to get that without having to spend any money. So tool loaner program, just one of the many benefits that Advance Auto Parts offers. And with that, it is time for our Blind Spot Story of the Week. When news topics go unnoticed, are underreported, or otherwise fall off the radar, they land in our blind spot. And this week, we've got a story about a heroine. Well, not actually a heroine, just plain heroine. We've got this article coming to us from, oddly enough, the UK, the Daily Mail Online. But this is just absurd. Charles is shaking his head in apparent disgust.
No comment.
No comment. A woman, 27 years old, Karen McCollinus of Scranton, Pennsylvania. Is that where Joe Biden is from? Alex, you're from the East.
Yeah, I think he's from Scranton. Yeah, he always talks about coming from Scranton, being a hard worker and blue collar, yada yada yada.
And sort of blue collar to the point of smuggling drugs, apparently. But this woman was allegedly had 54 bags of heroin, among other items, stored in her lower body purse, as it were.
Oh,
Oh, God.
I want to know how that allegedly.
You don't want to convict someone before.
I mean, I understand innocent until proven guilty, but if you got a count of 54 bags, and you pulled out of a maybe it came out.
It's
that's
funny
pretty
if you.
precise for allegedly.
It's not allegedly. If some guy actually had to pull 54 bags out, really 54? You could make them even 60.
Well, that's not all she had up in there.
This is where the story gets good.
She had 54 bags of heroin, 31 empty baggies. Apparently, if she needed to make a sandwich, she'd have those handy. Plus $51.22 in cash.
In Charlie Sheen's wallet.
Ding, ding.
I don't even know what to say to this.
I want to know why, this is from what you said, the one of the UK papers, fine UK papers. Why wasn't this covered like in USA Today? This is a fine American story.
Yeah. She looks pretty cracked out in the booking photos there.
That's how everybody from Scranton, Pennsylvania looks.
Says the guy from New Jersey.
Right now she's saying, "Oh, I can't believe I live in Scranton, Pennsylvania."
She's not even just about the arrest.
She had like 100 bags worth of stuff inside her. She looks fully relaxed now.
I'm not even going to comment
thank
on
God
this.
they finally got me.
And when you read the story, it says one of the officers, when she was in the car, noticed this person fidgeting in the back seat of the car. Fidgeting.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Sure.
I think I'd fidget too.
Yeah, she was.
That will happen.
I do understand that would happen.
She was, what does the article say here? She was arraigned on March 14th and taken into custody after failing to come up with 10% of the $25,000 bail. A preliminary hearing is set for March 21st. Although, like you said, Alex, there's not much alleged about this incident.
What's the proof? We pulled 54 bags outside of it. Yeah, okay, all right, good enough. Let's take it back to the other.
You know, they should really use this story as an anti-drug campaign. Not because you should be worried about what drugs will do to your health. You should be worried about where those drugs have been.
Yes.
Exactly.
So let's think about that for half a second.
No,
I mean,
you
you would
can
have
get-
middle schoolers puking in the aisle if you brought this story to class.
All those middle school drug addicts, they're all pretty worried.
Make sure you clean your money before you put it. You touch it with your hands. Every time you put a dollar bill in your mouth, like it might have been.
How often do you put a dollar bill in your mouth?
No, you're like you're holding like, oh, I get some in your hands. I got $1, and you just put it in your mouth and you go, that was a bad move.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Yeah. Wash your hands, kids. So, Zach, you've made your piece on this one?
I'm not nearly intoxicated enough to be making jokes about this.
Well, get another glass of whatever it is you're drinking. We'll move on to the next segment. Get yourself a little liquored up here. You can comment.
Sally Forth.
All right. Next up, Ben. You know what time it is.
Oh, do I ever. Here we go.
When I go a-motoring in my old jalopy, I think of all our picnics, those Joes sure were sloppy.
Keep a straight face
But
here.
more than
This is a serious
anything,
song.
I
I'm
can't
laughing at
forget
Zach's
you.
not serious.
Here's another
expression.
edition of Roundabout Review.
All right. So, Zach, you have not been around for this new segment yet.
I have not.
You have not heard Ben's lovely singing,
Nope.
his Al Jolson impersonation.
Nope.
Thankfully.
Yes. So what we've got, Roundabout Rear View, is a misty-eyed look at things from the past. We've got to take
I'm tearing up right now.
You've got to take a moment to, give our appreciation to history. So what we've got here is a lovely video. It's posted to YouTube. Awesome video. It's actually a cartoon that is advertising for Ford service parts back in 1940, and it's just it'll put a smile on your face.
It's very Warner Brothers.
It is, and it was. If you're playing the video, Ben, you can see if you're watching live. What was it? A Cartoon Films Inc. production?
Limited. It's actually a general film production in Technicolor by Cartoon Films Limited.
Yeah. As I mentioned, the video is posted on YouTube, but we found it on the website fordbarn.com. Great.
Which is an awesome website.
Yes, it is. You frequent there, Zach, or?
Yeah, Ford Barn and their associates, Garage Journal and Gear Journal, and all those guys.
The Ham.
Yeah, all really cool stuff.
Yeah.
We'll never let you down. We're genuine Ford replacements. Inspected, tested,
So it's a little fly-through of a flathead V8. Oh, yeah. Zooming in on the personified valve here.
Who are you? Who, me? I'm where? I'll wear you down.
The valve is talking to wear, to impact, to heat, to corrosion, all these forces envisioned as little gremlins attacking him, but he's a Ford part. He's invincible. Very charming, very clever article or video. Corrosion is he's spritzing something on the valve surface there.
You think you're smart. No, not smart. Just a real Ford part.
Isn't that clever? So then the valve withstands the assault by those four elements, and they are jettisoned out the tailpipe, landing on the ground, tumbling on the ground, where they
Just waiting to poison your water supply.
Exactly. They see another car go by, they get their hopes up, but then they're like, "Aw, it's another Ford V8."
Dang.
And then the video goes into a little bit more, some vintage footage that they shot of actual dealership work and stuff, some parts counter, whatnot. It's basically an ad for genuine Ford parts, but very clever. Put a smile on my face when I saw it. So yeah. Any thoughts, anyone? Any other videos like this you guys
I just
have
wish
seen?
they made promo videos like this today.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Today it might be a little kitschy, but this works because it's so old, I think. But nothing else, guys? Aren't impressed with it as I am?
Video continues to translate very well.
This was the...
Who picked that one again?
Yes, exactly.
Well, we're driving people to our website, roundaboutshow.com. You go there, you hit the link in the show notes, you can check it out for yourself.
See how we do that? And maybe while you're there, you see, oh, what's this Advanced Auto Parts? It says click here, I better.
Because that's never led to trouble on the internet.
Never.
Just needs to say free prawn.
Yeah. And actually, we got our sound effect for Highway Hearsay from a GM video, didn't we, Ben?
I think we did. Something like
that.
The
news leader, or whatever it was. So, yeah.
The news marches on, it does.
Basically. So, feel good story, Roundabout rear view. Check it out, roundaboutshow.com. Next up, Eric, I believe you tagged this one. We've got another edition of Auto Gadget. What did you find here on Translogic? Another member of the AOL family of fine weblogs, I understand, Zach.
That's true. We are everywhere.
Like savoir-faire.
Everywhere.
Watching people in the toilet.
So, proof that...
That'd be you, Craig.
Proof that innovation in America...
My bad.
Got the GM Inside News tie-in there. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So this kid, this has been a project for a number of years. Kid in high school kind of drew it and designed it and was encouraged to develop it, and through college, and then I guess after college now he's developed it. It's essentially like it looks like a unicycle motorcycle, but it's also a bit like a Segway because it's got gyroscopes to balance. Ooh, I don't know if I like the light, but the cool, and it's electric powered, and like a Segway, you lean forward, you lean back, you can turn on it, and it's got two wheels so that it's stable in turning, and they're each independently suspended. And then the coolest part of this is that that's great for operating in tight areas in an urban environment, but if you need to really take it out on the road, you just hit a button and it, Autobots transform, and this other wheel just comes out from in between and goes out, and now you have an electric motorcycle with a top speed of, I believe, about 30 miles an hour.
I need the Transformers noise as a sound drop. Well, that's probably the old school one.
No, we don't, Ben.
No.
And there's a video that goes along with this that shows them riding really it around in a parking lot and in a parking structure. And you see them riding it as like the monowheel deal, which was
it's like a unicycle but less douchey.
Yes.
Is it?
Are unicycles known for being douchey? I didn't really realize.
I think so.
It's a little too hipster, especially these days. It'd be a little too hipster.
Okay, Eric, you're into bikes.
Yes.
Zach, you also like the motorcycles, the two-wheel action.
That I do.
You're not a fan of this, though? Sound a little incredulous.
Yeah, you know what's wrong with a motorcycle? Not a goddamn thing. I mean, the video shows the guy riding it around in like an elevator, and I don't understand. You know, I mean, a motorcycle's great for getting around tight spaces. If you were in a space tight enough to need something with one wheel, you're in a space that you should not be in. I mean, you've somehow managed to find yourself cramped behind a dumpster.
Okay, Tennessee is a good state, but it's not that densely populated. I understand New Jersey is the most densely populated state in the Union.
That it is. There's way too many people here.
We'll ship them off to upstate New York or something. But
we try.
That's all the people leaving New York that come to New Jersey.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
How would this fare in New Jersey? Would people just push it in front of a train if they saw it?
Bikes are a common problem. Every time I see someone with a bike, it's just a matter of time before they get seriously injured. Owning a bike in New Jersey it's not a matter of where, but once when. You're just going to get hit by somebody. I don't understand owning one. There's literally cars everywhere, no matter where you go. If you're going around town, parkway, highway,
sidewalk, doesn't matter.
Sidewalk, they're going to be there. They're coming right up on you, and they're going to just run right over you.
So-
Especially everybody here still drives right around this area. Everybody still SUVs. There's still tons of Hummers around.
Well, are
They're
you
not-
saying
they're not-
New Jersey? Is it New Jerseyite? New Jerseyans?
Oid.
Yeah, I don't.
Jersey-oid.
I don't see anybody with Segway. The only time people see people in Segways or any type of, things like that would either be, Segways are actually relegated to malls and mall police.
Yeah.
Like Paul Blart, and that's about it. I never see Segway actually on the road and driven around or go through parks. But unless you're in a bike park or, some motorcycles out on the highway. Up in Northwest Jersey is not as densely populated, and South Jersey more towards the tip.
The Pine
Towards
Barrens?
South of the Pine Barrens, Cape May down there. That's where I'm heading down there tomorrow. But
Hunting the Jersey Devil?
Area, yeah, Jersey Devil. Yes, all down there. That's where you want to take your bike. You don't want to between in the middle section, anywhere around Jersey City, all the way down to, I don't know, probably another hour and a half. Anywhere from that in Atlantic City, you don't want to be anything on two wheels that aren't protected by some sort of molly around you.
Would having only one wheel make that any safer? That's my.
Well, Zach, if you do the math, it's 50% is safe, right?
Well, it's very true.
What do you think of the name when it's in this quote-unquote unicycle mode, but they don't call it a unicycle, they call it a
Uno.
Dicycle.
Oh, Dicycle.
Dicycle.
What about a
don't know about that.
monocycle?
I think Dicycle, doesn't he still pitch for the Red Sox?
No, it's Daisuke Matsuzaka. Funny thing, though, is that this is in Boston.
There you go.
There's your tie-in.
Yeah. So this
Awesome, you could definitely do that.
Yeah. Well, cool find, Eric. What can people do? Again, this is another video. Sorry, Zach. But,
hey, I just,
We engineered this episode for you, as you can tell.
Where can people find this, Eric?
RoundaboutShow.com.
Sounds like a good website.
Yep. Very good website.
Don't mind if I do. All right, guys. Well, I think that'll just about do it for this week's show. It finishes off our news segment and our regular segments. So, Eric Tritko,
yes.
Rumblestrip.net, Rumblestrip on Twitter.
Yes.
Always a pleasure having you live in studio.
Great to be here, as always. I also want to remind everyone that I am participating in the Multiple Sclerosis Walk on May 7th in Detroit, downtown. Starts at Tiger Stadium and goes through Greektown and some of the other very nice neighborhoods in Detroit.
There are
nice
neighborhoods in Detroit?
Yes, believe it or not. Detroit's getting better and better every day. If you'd like to donate, I'm trying to raise at least $500. That's my minimum goal, and if I'd reach that, I would like to raise more than that. If you'd like to donate to the cause, you can go to bit.ly/DETMS Walk.
And we'll have the link again.
Yeah, link will be in the show notes. And I've just a little over halfway to raising my goal with 43 days left. So, like I said, I'm hoping to get
$500.
Over $500
for a great
raised.
cause.
Yes.
This supports research for multiple sclerosis. I'm assuming. How are they doing on that?
Very good. There's some really exciting new drugs that are on the market and coming on market and going through testing. In fact, my girlfriend Catherine has been participating in a study, and she was on the
trial, whatever.
She didn't get the trial drug. She got the current drug, but she's coming to the end of the trial, and they're going to offer her the trial drug at the end of this, which will be in 5 months. We're really excited about that because she will no longer have to do 3 shots a week.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Yes.
Again, that's bit.ly/DETMS Walk.
Yeah,
DETMS
Walk. Yep.
And as of this recording, he's at 55%. So
let's help push him over the top. I donated.
Yep.
You should too.
Ben has donated.
Stephen Ewing
donated. Yep.
Very good. Well, thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Glad you could make it. Charles Krome, our resident Autotropolisaurus this week.
I had to fill in for Mr. Ross. I hope I was up to the
challenge. You always have to have an Autotropolis representative.
My pleasure as always, gentlemen.
So, what are you working on? Anything exciting? I noticed you're driving a Kia.
Well, that is my my personal forte.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. But I'm between. I had the Avalon for a while. It was a nice ride.
Yeah, if you don't have sporting.
Exactly.
It's got a nice car, quiet, comfortable. Yeah. So you're going to have a review on that done shortly?
Shortly. Although that might show up on autosavant.com.
Oh, you moonlight over there, too?
I do to some extent, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 sites we can find you, Autotropolis.com, Autosavant.com.
Yes.
But either way, Charles Krome, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For filling out the roundabout this week. Alex Villani, Mr. GM Inside News. Hailing from New Jersey, no less.
Yes, sir.
We are glad you could make it. Roundabout first-timer. Great job, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what's going on in the news this week? Anything? What do you do at GMI exactly?
I am the Northeast contributor / editor. We are a small but rambunctious group of guys. It's me and Nick Saporito in Kansas. We're the 2 main guys here in North America. Mark Bono is another guy we have down in D.C. We have guys out in Australia. We have 3 guys that cover our Australian, for instance. Holden is such a big part now, General Motors. But we're working on a couple things. I got done with the Volt last week, so I should hopefully have a review, some videos up by sometime this weekend. Right now I have the Camaro convertible, and just in time for more snow and rain here in New Jersey.
Of course.
Perfect time.
Sounds like Michigan.
Yeah, I last week we got an 80-degree day, and all weekend I'm part of the local Camaro Firebirds. That's my true passion.
You've got an F-body or something?
I do. I have my own little project. I have an 87 Z28 with an LS1 V8 in there, little modified head scan stuff.
Nice.
I had a chance to bring the Volt out to one of the meets this past Sunday. It's funny to see a lot of F-body guys crawl around and ask them any one question. They're pretty good with it. Obviously they made a couple of jokes like, "Oh, where do you plug it in? How are you going to get it home? Do you turn the dome lights on? Does everything dim?" And
does the turn signal light?
Driving an
EV.
Yeah, so it's you always get the joke, but they don't do it out of ignorance. They do it out of trying to crack jokes. But the Camaro convertible this week has been cool. Every time the sun is up and the clouds are gone, I try to drop the top 45-degree weather.
You got to do it. You got to do it. It sounds like New Jersey's a lot like Michigan. We had a nice 70-degree day about a week ago, and then God took a dump on us. So it's in the 30s right now. But,
Barely.
Thanks for joining us. GMInsideNews.com. Giant forum you guys have there, too.
That we are. That's our bread and butter. Those are all our guys, all our readers, guys and girls. We appreciate everything. Without them, we would be nothing.
Yeah. And we appreciate you coming on the show, Alex. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Mr. Zach Bowman, back in Zach.
Mr. Craig Cole.
We're glad you came back. We were able to coax you.
Hey, glad to
The
be back.
beef jerky's in the mail.
Awesome.
Autoblog.com.
Yep, that's me.
What are you working on?
I've heard of it.
You working on anything besides everything?
Yeah. Let's see. I've got the Volt in the garage right now. Should have a review of that up fairly soon. I'm going to be driving the new Passat next week. The new it gets better, buddy. The Prius 5 after that, or Prius V or whatever the hell they call it.
Well, we'll tell Stephen Ewing to get you some better stuff. All right.
Well, supposedly I'm going to be rocking a Countryman here pretty soon, so I'll have to rummage up something pretty entertaining to do.
We'll
with
tell
that.
Stephen Ewing to get you some better stuff.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. But this is payback for having like a Jag XJR for like 3 weeks or something like that.
All right, let's be fair here. I had an XF, and then something mediocre, and then an XKR, and then something mediocre, and then an XKR. So I had a pretty good run there for a while. So I can't really complain. And the Volt's pretty awesome. I mean, in its own way.
Definitely. But the loyal listeners can check out your work, your prolific works, at autoblog.com. Most days of the week.
Nearly everyone, unless I'm gallivanting around the country.
All right. Well, thank you, Zach. Always a pleasure having you on. And, of course, Ben Sanders, the Colonel Sanders, the Colonel Slanders.
I have to say, Zach didn't have me working too hard this week with the bleep button.
Wait, there's still time.
No, that's a good point.
He's been drinking. What are you imbibing, Zach? What's your poison?
Well, that's a buddy of mine brought this down below.
special home brew.
It is. It's apple pie shine, which is pretty,
I love
pretty
that
fantastic.
That is
really
that's good stuff.
I don't usually do hard liquor. I typically prefer beer, but
as long as you're on the show tonight, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Needed something to get you through it.
My logic exactly.
Well, Ben, thank you for getting the technical side things
I do what I
taken
can,
care of,
Craig.
and for editing the podcast on the weekend.
Yep.
Your time is greatly appreciated.
Well, that's sweet.
Of course, you can check out Roundabout live every Friday evening starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, about 3:30 on the West Coast if you're out there. And don't forget to check out the rest of the Autoline family of fine programs, including Autoline Detroit, Autoline After Hours, and, of course, Autoline Daily on our website, autolinedetroit.tv, TV as in television. Check it out. And will somebody please leave us a message? We've got a Google Voice number. Drop us a line, 1559-ROAB411. That's 1559-762-2411. Also, if you're swinging by our website, checking out the Advanced Auto Parts link, I encourage you to also visit the Roundabout Emporium. We've got all kinds...
Buy stuff now!
Yes, Eric, you can buy stuff right now. We've got hats, stickers, mugs, beer steins, you name it. All kinds of great stuff on the Roundabout Emporium. If you find the Advanced link, you'll see the Roundabout Emporium button is right on the right-hand sidebar as well. So click on that. All kinds of great stuff to get there. We are on Twitter. Just go to twitter.com/roundabout show. We're also on we're also on Facebook, facebook.com/roundabout show. Give us a like. Yes. Give us a like. We do appreciate it. And if you never want to miss an action-packed episode, and frankly, who doesn't? Zach, you probably subscribe to this. I would hope you do at least.
Pretend.
You can do it on iTunes or the Zune Marketplace if you like that instead.
Or YouTube.
Or Stitcher.
Now we're doing the YouTube thing.
Yeah, the video version of...
Well, no, that's Ustream, so you can watch us live.
But you're putting the video on YouTube.
Put the recorded video on YouTube now. So if you're a YouTube fan, go to youtube.com/AutolineDetroit. Subscribe.
Subscribe early, subscribe often. We do appreciate it. And with that, thanks to all of you out there listening. Please join us again next week as we circle the roundabout. We'll talk to you then.
Goodbye.
That's a show. Look at that, Zach, right there.
Stunned and amazed.
1 hour, 11 minutes.
This blows my fucking mind. You guys are like a well-oiled machine. Craig's all snappy with the stories now. You're busting through them.
It's the jacket.
I was gonna say it's the sport jacket.
Little pocket square here.
Hey, it's the jacket.
So yeah, great job, guys. Good hustle. Good hustle.
Well done. I have to show you guys these awesome safety glasses that I found in my basement.
Oh, we got to run down the chat room though. We always do a little call out.
Oh, those are good.
You see the little mesh protection there?
Nice.
1960.
I think I want to get like tinted lenses for them and use them with.
You need a pocket protector to go with those.
Yeah,
and a slide rule.
Put the white tape right in the center.
The great part about this is that I can now be obscene with gestures in addition to
Ben
verbally.
does not have blur technology yet.
Hey, Zach, are you watching the live video?
He's on the live video right now.
No. Is he watching us in here?
I'm not. Hold on a second.
See, Zach is very conscientious with his bandwidth.
I am because for the longest time it really messed up my audio. All right, there we go.
All right, so I'll match yours with mine.
I only see Alex and myself here. Oh, there we go.
18-second delay, thanks to the interwebs.
Well done.
Nice, shocker.
Thank you, chatters. We've got Alex, of course, Ben, myself, Luke, Cran Breaking. Thank you. As always, you made it. You didn't have to go to the gym and run or something, so we appreciate you being here live. Fry Guy 177. Not familiar.
He's always in.
Is he?
For some reason, every time you read his name, you're like, oh, we got a new guy here, Fry Guy. All right.
He's probably
nice
the
to
most
meet you.
loyal fan of all.
That's the only reason he comes back is for the recognition every week.
Right.
And I just traipse all over his dignity by saying he's never here. Gorski C, the ever-reliable Gorski C, running 3.13 miles according to his Nike Plus iPod app.
All right.
It's on Facebook. What do you want me to do? It's public knowledge. We've got Luigi B. He has come back. Again, we had him for the RoAb trip last year. He found us, and he's back in the chat now.
Fry Guy says you're cool with him. So.
All right. Fair enough. I try. We've got Mein VW. My VW. Another new name. Don't recognize that. Maybe he's been here. He and or she has been here before. I don't know. But hey, glad you made it. Mud Monster, the prolific mood monster, in the chat. Oh,
got his own fan club.
Himself.
It's a lot of giggle.
That's a lot of creepy, like ice cream truck molester guy. RoAb, Mr. Stewart.
My Lord.
Now Ben pulls out all the sound effects. You notice that as he closes the window.
I didn't want to break the rhythm.
I know. We got RoAb, Mr. Stewart. How you doing, Rich? We've got RoundAbout 457. Not sure who that is, but we're glad you made it. Scott in
name.
Cleveland. Scotty. We've got Sean.
Scotty don't.
325. Sean 325. We also have another Sean. Sean in Erie.
What about Shaun of the Dead?
Erie, Pennsylvania,
Yes.
perhaps.
You've got red on you.
And of course, Zach
some
Bowman.
Zach something.
Zach. It's German.
Ah,
Zach.
That asshole.
By the way,
Wolfman.
Zach, did you see the car that I
We are done.
tweeted last night for you?
Thank you, everyone.
I did.
Good show,
Pretty
good
sweet.
hustle. My jacket is off,
All right.
and so are my hosting abilities.
That's a show.
And his pants.
God, I hope not.
And mark it.
There's still daylight out. I don't believe it.
Well, thank you, folks.
Yes.
Another show's in the can. We appreciate it.
Blown away by
Very
this.
much.
I really am.
Did
Thank
Zach,
you,
Zach, you had planned till about 10 o'clock or something?
I had crossed out the whole evening. I really had. So.
Hey, honey, we're going out to dinner.
Yeah, that's right.
Mine VW says first time. Not last time, though. We want another fan. How about that? Come on, guys.
I've got to say, I'm a little curious about the banner ads in the chat. They've all been curious dating sites. Like right now, it's lavaplace.com, which is an international dating site, and before it was like some
Like We Bride.
No, it was like We Brides. It's funny. It was like dedicated to like Koreans, and then there was like a specific Christian one, and like either they figured out
ChristianMingle.com is right there.
Have you,
Like
ever seen the ads on TV for the Christian ones? It's just really funny. And being a Roman Catholic Italian, watching this stuff, you're like, it's pretty funny.
It's odd. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, you said something. Now I'm seeing the dating ones online now.
Yeah, see, they're after you.
ad block, so I don't see anything.
Well, thank you guys. Good hustle. We do appreciate it. Thank you, chatters. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Alex, Charles.
Good job, guys.
Yep.
Good night, Moon. Good night, Bush.
We'll get you guys back on again.
Good night, poster on the wall.
Sayonara. Auf Wiedersehen. Literally,
See
Auf
you.
Wiedersehen. We will see you again. We do video now.
That's true.
How ironic.
Good job, Craig.
Let's put this baby in the oven. Let's finish it up. We're done.